Let me tell you something that will change your life forever. The universe doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you are. You've been sitting there making wish lists, creating vision boards, and wondering why your life hasn't changed. The truth is simple yet profound, that you don't attract what you desire, you attract what you've become. This is the fundamental law that governs all success, all relationships, and all achievement in life. Every morning, millions of people wake up wanting something different. They want better jobs, bigger houses, healthier relationships, more money in their bank accounts. They want respect, recognition, love, and success. But wanting has never been enough. Wanting is just the beginning of a journey that most people never complete because they stop at desire instead of progressing to becoming. I remember a young man who came to me years ago. He was desperate, frustrated, and confused. He wanted wealth so badly he could taste it. Every morning he'd look in the mirror and say, I want to be rich. I want to be successful. I want to have influence. He read all the books, attended all the seminars, and followed all the gurus. But year after year, nothing changed. His bank account remained empty. His relationships remained shallow, and his dreams remained distant. One day I asked him a simple question. Who are you? He looked at me puzzled and started listing his desires again. I stopped him and said, I didn't ask what you want. I asked who you are. That's when the light began to dawn. He realized he was trying to attract wealth while being poor in his mindset, trying to attract success while being lazy in his habits, trying to attract love while being selfish in his character. This young man had been living in a world of want, not realizing that the universe doesn't respond to your shopping list of desires. It responds to your state of being. He wanted to withdraw from an account where he had made no deposits. He wanted to harvest from fields where he had planted no seeds. He wanted to receive wages for work he had never performed. You see, the universe operates on a principle of correspondence. Like attracts like. A magnet doesn't attract what it wants. It attracts according to what it is. If you're negative, you'll attract negative circumstances. If you're positive in your very being, not just in your words, you'll attract positive outcomes. This isn't mysticism, this is the law of life. Think about water. Water doesn't rise above its own level. It finds its level based on what it is, not what it wishes to be. Your life operates the same way. You don't rise above your level of being. You don't attract beyond your state of becoming. You don't receive outside of your capacity to contain. Too many people spend their lives wanting. They want better relationships, but they're not better people. They want successful businesses, but they haven't developed business acumen. They want healthy bodies, but they maintain unhealthy lifestyles. They're trying to withdraw from an account where they've made no deposits. The tragedy is that most people die with their music still in them because they spend their entire lives wanting to sing instead of developing their voice. They wanted to perform instead of learning to play. They wanted applause instead of earning competence. They confused desire with development, wishes with work, dreams with discipline. The difference between wanting and being is the difference between wishing and manifesting. Wanting is external, being is internal. Wanting is temporary, being is permanent. Wanting creates anxiety, being creates confidence. When you want something, you're acknowledging its absence. When you become something, you're embodying its presence. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine your life as a mirror. Every morning you look into this mirror expecting to see something different, but the reflection never changes until you change. You can stand there all day long telling the mirror you want to see a successful person, but the mirror will only reflect what's standing in front of it. This is the mirror principle of life. Your external world is simply a reflection of your internal reality. The mirror doesn't lie. It doesn't flatter. It doesn't deceive. It simply reflects. And here's the powerful truth. When you change, the reflection changes instantly. Not tomorrow, not next week, but the moment you change, your reflection changes. The challenge is that most people try to change the mirror instead of changing themselves. People often ask me why their positive thinking isn't working. They say, I think positive thoughts all day long, but nothing changes. Here's the truth. Positive thinking without positive being is like planting seeds without preparing the soil. Your thoughts are important, but they must be rooted in who you are, not just what you think. You can repeat, I am wealthy 1,000 times a day, but if your being vibrates poverty, you're just making noise. You can declare, I am loved every morning, but if your being radiates rejection, you're just talking to yourself. You can proclaim, I am successful until you lose your voice, but if your being embodies failure, you're just wasting breath. Your subconscious mind knows when you're faking it. You can repeat affirmations until you're blue in the face, but if your character doesn't align with your confessions, you're just making noise. The universe doesn't respond to lip service. It responds to life service. Character development is not a destination. It's a journey. It's the daily process of becoming more today than you were yesterday. It's about developing integrity when no one's watching, building discipline when you don't feel like it, and maintaining consistency when results aren't immediate. Character is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Every time you choose honesty over deception, you build character. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you strengthen your being. Every time you choose service over selfishness, you elevate your attraction power. Think about a tree. It doesn't produce fruit by wanting to produce fruit. It produces fruit by being a healthy tree. It develops strong roots, grows sturdy branches, and maintains healthy leaves. The fruit is simply the natural outcome of what the tree has become. Your success, your relationships, your achievements, these are the fruits of who you've become. The tree doesn't negotiate with the seasons. It doesn't complain about the weather. It doesn't make excuses for its growth. It simply focuses on being the best tree it can be, and the fruit follows naturally. This is the secret that nature has been teaching us all along. Focus on being, and having follows naturally. I've watched countless individuals transform their lives by understanding this principle. There was a woman who wanted to attract a loving, faithful partner. She spent years complaining about the men she met, never realizing she was attracting reflections of her own inner state. When she began working on becoming loving and faithful herself, developing emotional maturity and spiritual depth, the quality of people in her life changed dramatically. She stopped looking for Mr. Right and started becoming Mrs. Right. She stopped seeking someone to complete her and started completing herself. She stopped waiting for love to find her and started becoming love. And when she became what she was seeking found her. Another example is a businessman who wanted to attract wealthy clients. He dressed the part, talked the part, but something was missing. His business struggled for years until he realized he was operating from a poverty mindset when he began thinking, acting, and being like a successful entrepreneur, investing in his education, taking calculated risks, providing exceptional value. Wealthy clients began seeking him out. He discovered that wealthy clients don't just want to work with someone who desires wealth. They want to work with someone who understands wealth, who operates from abundance, who thinks like they think. When he became what they were, they recognized him as one of their own. Our society loves shortcuts. We want the pill that makes us thin, the scheme that makes us rich, the technique that makes us attractive. But there are no shortcuts to becoming. You can't microwave character development. You can't download integrity. You can't purchase authenticity. Every shortcut you take is a detour from your destiny. When you try to have without being, you build on sand. When you try to get without giving, you create imbalance. When you try to reap without sowing, you guarantee failure. The elevator to success is broken. You must take the stairs. Each step represents a level of becoming. Each floor represents a new dimension of being. You can't skip floors. You can't jump levels. You must climb each step, develop at each stage, grow through each phase. Building authentic value within yourself is the greatest investment you'll ever make. When you develop skills, you become valuable. When you develop character, you become trustworthy. When you develop wisdom, you become influential. These aren't things you can fake or borrow. They must be cultivated from within. Value creation starts with a simple question. What can I offer? Instead of asking what you can get, ask what you can give. Instead of seeking to be served, seek to serve. Instead of trying to be understood, seek to understand. This shift from taking to giving, from getting to becoming, is the cornerstone of authentic success. When you focus on becoming valuable rather than seeking value, something magical happens. Opportunities begin seeking you. Resources begin flowing to you. People begin believing in you, not because you're chasing them, but because you've become worthy of them. Your self-worth determines your net worth. You'll never outperform your self-picture. You'll never outachieve your internal beliefs about yourself. If you see yourself as a victim, you'll attract victimizing circumstances. If you see yourself as valuable, you'll attract valuable opportunities. Self-worth isn't arrogance. It's assurance. It's not about thinking you're better than others. It's about knowing you have something unique to offer. It's not about pride. It's about purpose. When you know your worth, you don't seek validation from others. You validate yourself through your actions and contributions. Many people confuse self-worth with net worth. They think if they just had more money, they'd feel more valuable. But it works the other way around. When you increase your self-worth through personal development, skill acquisition, and character building, your net worth naturally follows. The wealthy understand this principle. They don't chase money. They become valuable, and money chases them. They don't pursue success. They become successful, and achievements pursue them. They don't seek recognition. They become remarkable, and recognition seeks them. Here are practical steps to become what you desire to attract. First, identify who you need to become if you want to attract wealth. Study wealthy people. Not just their strategies, but their mindsets, their habits, their values. If you want to attract love, become loving. If you want to attract respect, become respectable. This identification process requires brutal honesty. You must look at yourself without filters, without excuses, without justifications. You must see the gap between who you are and who you need to become. This gap isn't meant to discourage you. Second, start with small daily actions. Becoming isn't about grand gestures. It's about consistent small steps. Read for 30 minutes daily. Exercise regularly. Practice kindness intentionally. Develop discipline incrementally. These small actions compound over time into significant transformation. Remember, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, but that step must be followed by another and another and another. Consistency is the mother of mastery. Repetition is the father of learning. Small actions done daily create extraordinary results over time. Third, surround yourself with who you're becoming. You can't become an eagle while hanging with turkeys. Your environment either elevates or diminishes you. Choose relationships that challenge you to grow, environments that inspire you to improve, and activities that align with your becoming. Because the people you spend time with will influence who you become. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. If you're the most successful person in your circle, you need a bigger circle. Iron sharpens iron. Eagles soar with eagles. Lions hunt with lions. Fourth, measure your progress by who you are, not what you have. Success isn't about accumulation, it's about transformation. Don't ask, what did I get today? Ask, Who did I become today? This shift in measurement changes everything. Your bank account may not reflect your becoming immediately. Your circumstances may not mirror your character instantly. But don't be discouraged. The outer world always lags behind the inner world. Keep becoming and the having will follow. Keep developing and the manifestation will materialize. Fifth, embrace the process. Becoming isn't comfortable. Growth requires stretching. Change demands courage. Transformation involves pain. But remember, the pain of becoming is temporary. The pain of remaining the same is permanent. Every caterpillar must endure the darkness of the cocoon to emerge as a butterfly. Every seed must break open in the darkness of soil to become a tree. Every diamond must endure pressure to reveal its brilliance. Your becoming process is no different. Patience is perhaps the most challenging aspect of becoming. We live in an instant society. We want immediate results, quick fixes, and rapid returns. But becoming operates on a different timeline. A tree doesn't grow overnight. A master doesn't develop instantly. Character isn't built in a day. The principle of patience teaches us that time is our friend, not our enemy. Every day you invest in becoming is a day closer to attracting what aligns with who you are. Every moment spent developing yourself is a moment invested in your future. Every choice to grow rather than gratify is a vote for your destiny. Consider the bamboo tree. For 4 years, it shows no visible growth above ground. But beneath the surface, it's developing a root system strong enough to support the massive growth that's coming. In the 5th year, it grows 90 feet in 6 weeks. Your becoming process may feel like those first 4 years, but keep developing your roots. Your season of visible growth is coming. Too many people operate from a victim mentality. They blame circumstances, curse conditions, and excuse their lack of progress. But victims don't attract victory. Complainers don't attract solutions. Blamers don't attract success. The victim mindset says, life happens to me. The victor mindset says, life happens for me. The victim sees obstacles. The victor sees opportunities. The victim makes excuses. The victor makes progress. Which mindset are you choosing? Taking responsibility for your becoming is the first step toward transformation. When you stop blaming and start becoming, everything changes. When you stop making excuses and start making efforts, doors open. When you stop being a victim and start being a victor, the universe responds. Responsibility is your ability to respond. It's not about fault. It's about power. When you take responsibility, you take control. When you own your becoming, you own your future. When you accept where you are, you gain the power to go where you want to be. Your environment is either an incubator for your dreams or a cemetery for your potential. You can't become a positive person in a negative environment. You can't develop wealth consciousness in a poverty-minded community. You can't build success habits in a failure-focused atmosphere. Creating an environment that supports who you're becoming requires intentional choices. It means changing your physical space to reflect your aspirations. It means curating your social circle to include growth-minded individuals. It means consuming content that feeds your becoming rather than your remaining. Look at your environment right now. Does it inspire you or depress you? Does it challenge you or comfort you? Does it reflect who you're becoming or who you've been? Your environment should be a physical manifestation of your mental destination. The compound effect is the principle of small actions creating massive results over time. Reading one book won't transform you, but reading daily for a year will revolutionize your thinking. One workout won't change your body, but consistent exercise will transform your physique. One act of kindness won't alter your character, but daily compassion will reshape your heart. Every action you take is either adding to or subtracting from who you're becoming. There's no neutral ground. You're either growing or dying, advancing or retreating, becoming or remaining. The compound effect works whether you're conscious of it or not. Time will pass regardless. 5 years from now, you'll be 5 years older no matter what. The question is, will you be 5 years better? Will those years be invested in becoming or wasted in wanting? Will they be spent developing or just dreaming? Setbacks are not failures. They're feedback. When you're becoming something new, you'll face resistance. Old patterns will fight for survival. Comfortable habits will demand attention. Familiar failures will invite return visits. This is normal and necessary. Every setback contains the seeds of a comeback. Every failure carries lessons for future success. Every disappointment holds wisdom for better decisions. The key is to see setbacks as part of becoming, not obstacles to becoming. When you face setbacks, ask yourself, what is this teaching me about who I need to become? Instead of why is this happening to me? This shift in perspective transforms obstacles into opportunities, problems into possibilities, setbacks into setups for comebacks. The consumer mindset asks, what's in it for me? The producer mindset asks, what can I contribute? Consumers wait for opportunities, producers create them. Consumers depend on circumstances, producers design them. Consumers react to life, producers direct it. Moving from consumer to producer is essential for attraction. Producers attract resources because they create value. Producers attract relationships because they offer worth. Producers attract success because they generate it rather than wait for it. When you shift from consuming to producing, you shift from scarcity to abundance. There's never enough for consumers because they're always taking. There's always enough for producers because they're constantly creating. Which mindset are you operating from? Producers understand that the universe rewards creation, not consumption. They know that to receive, they must first give. To harvest, they must first plant. To withdraw, they must first deposit. They operate from overflow, not deficit. Leadership isn't about position, it's about influence. You don't need a title to be a leader. You need character, vision, and the ability to inspire others toward a better future. Leaders attract followers not through force, but through example. The leadership principle in attraction states that people follow who you are, not what you say. Your life is your loudest sermon. Your actions are your strongest argument. Your character is your greatest credential. Are you leading a life worth following? Leaders attract quality people because they've become quality themselves. They attract solutions because they've become problem solvers. They attract opportunities because they've become opportunity creators. Leadership isn't something you do, it's something you become. True leaders understand that leadership is influence. Nothing more, nothing less. And influence comes from being, not from wanting. You can want to influence people all day long, but until you become influential through your character, competence, and contribution, you're just wanting. The moment of decision has arrived. You can close this message and continue wanting, wishing, and waiting, or you can begin the journey of becoming. You can keep looking outside for what must be developed inside, or you can start the transformation that attracts everything you desire. Remember, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. The universe is always listening, not to your words, but to your being. It's responding not to your wishes, but to your vibration. It's aligning not with your hopes, but with your habits. The world is waiting for what you have to offer, but first you must become it. Your dreams are calling for manifestation, but first you must embody them. Your destiny is prepared for revelation, but first you must develop the capacity to contain it. Today marks the beginning of your becoming. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when conditions are perfect. Today. Because becoming doesn't wait for ideal circumstances. It creates them. Becoming doesn't demand perfect conditions. It develops them. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. But start. Begin the process of becoming what you want to attract. Develop the character that commands the success you seek. Build the mindset that magnetizes the opportunities you desire. Create the value that attracts the life you envision. Your future is not determined by what you want today, but by who you choose to become starting today. The universe is ready to respond. The question is, are you ready to become? The choice is yours. The time is now. The process begins with a single step, a single decision, a single moment of commitment to becoming rather than wanting. Will you take that step? Will you make that decision? Will you embrace that commitment? Attract what you are, not what you want. This truth will either haunt you or inspire you. It will either defeat you or motivate you. It will either limit you or liberate you. The difference lies not in the truth itself, but in what you do with it. So stop wanting and start becoming. Stop wishing and start building. Stop hoping and start developing. The life you desire is waiting on the other side of who you're willing to become. Every champion was once a contender who refused to give up on becoming. Every leader was once a learner who refused to stop growing. Every success story began with someone who understood this fundamental truth, that attraction follows being as surely as shadows follow objects in the light. The universe has already prepared everything you desire. The opportunities exist, the resources are available, the connections are waiting, but they're all responding to a frequency, the frequency of your being. When you tune yourself to the right frequency through becoming, you'll be amazed at how quickly things begin to align, how naturally doors begin to open, how effortlessly what you've been seeking begins to find you.